Huge win for Manchester United. All United fans have to be pleased. Although it may not have been the best performance, Man United are now level on points with Liverpool with the same amount of games played, which is huge. Because literally 10 games ago, they were in the bottom half of the table and it was considered a failing season. But now, they're literally tied, they're joint first place. So we're going to be taking a look at how this game happened, or the game plan of both sides. From the start, United wanted to press, which is where they employed Fred and McTominay. So they'd press Martial up, they'd press Rashford up, and they'd press Fernandez up in sort of a, what do you call it, a forward three in the press to deal with uh their, obviously, their center backs and their fullbacks. Martial would get on, so basically they would get here based on the center back or based on the side that the ball was. So the ball's over here on this side, Martial will press here, Fernandez, of course, around here, and Rashford would go here. If the ball was on this side, for example, then you'd have a player like Rashford here, Fernandez here, and like Martial in this area patrolling, right? Obviously, interchanging press, as is expected from a high-level quality side. So, while United pressed these men up, what was interesting to me was that Pogba also did a huge part in the press, as well as Shaw, Fred, and McTominay. Almost as if it was to the point where the defensive structure that United had was not quite secure or wasn't as safe. It relied on United to keep the ball, and one bad giveaway or one bad mispass could cause Villa to be through. Luckily, we didn't do this too much, and it proved as the game wore on that Fred and McTominay were the right choice for this game. With a wide open midfield, when Villa were causing loads of width, what they'd do is they'd push all their men out wide, which left for a pretty open midfield. They played long passes and no Villa players were ever close to each other. So the chances of playing these passes were well watched by Fred and McTominay. When El Ghazi would get closed down by the Manchester United press, he would try to pass it into the middle just for Fred to sprint and intercept it, or McTominay to sprint and intercept it. Both Fred and McTominay, especially in the first half, did a tremendous job. It was to the point where Villa didn't create too many chances. Although, at times, the way that they did create chances was when Fred or McTominay were caught out in possession, or Villa were able to get past. In my pre-match analysis, I talked about how Manchester United getting past Luiz and McGinn would be pivotal. But to my surprise, Luiz and McGinn were a big part of the Villa attack. So, as it goes, right? United were very threatening from the counter-attack itself. Of course, they didn't park the bus, but when they did get some men back, and United were able to win it and were able to catch out Luiz and McGinn, a break was on. Loads of space, and loads of space to run into. I'll give you an example for Manchester United's first goal. When Pogba's in the middle and Villa are attacking, Villa keep on attacking. Villa push Watkins out wide, put Grealish in the middle. Luiz is chilling over here. McGinn just shielding the back line a little bit. And of course, Villa have a I'd say fairly high line, right? And United are getting their men back, but they're not having Fernandez, Rashford, or Martial do too much defending. So with this sort of a formation or this sort of a structure, right? They lose the ball, Villa, and Pogba's got it. Pogba's got it in the middle here, who does a little flick and creates space for himself, who's able to pass it to Rashford, who's running here. Wan-Bissaka starts sprinting, right? So Wan-Bissaka is sprinting. Wan-Bissaka is just sprinting, and El Ghazi, who's supposed to take care of him, is not able to get there. It's almost like he wasn't trying. So Wan-Bissaka gets to run, he gets to sprint, and Rashford cleverly finds him, and Wan-Bissaka is able to get it to Martial, who can get a little diving header for a goal. So overall, I'd say, to be honest, Wan-Bissaka had an immense game, especially in the first half. It was just the movement he was taking, the way he was going up, it was just so great to see. Shaw as well was pivotal. He was used better, I'd say, in the second half, but in the first half it was mainly Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka was just playing brilliantly. Of course, United get that goal. They get the momentum, especially going into halftime, and Villa's spirits are just a little bit dim. Going into the second half, right? Villa have a lot of momentum. So of course they're pushing their players up. In Villa's formation, you'd see Luiz and McGinn interchanging, shielding the back line, but you'd see Villa's fullbacks getting up. In fact, Cash and Target were doing really well when it came to attacking. So they get their equalizer from a quick, cheeky little free kick. where Grealish is able to get out wide. So we have these players in the box, and Fred and McTominay are just over here. So well, you have Maguire by Shaw in the box. You have Fred and McTominay here. You have Wan-Bissaka here. So Grealish gets the ball from a cheeky little free kick, right? He runs. He runs. So it's Luis. It's not Luis. It's like El Ghazi, Watkins, and Traore in the box. So Grealish gets the ball. He has so much space because it's taken quickly, and he gets the chance to put a ball in. What it was Luis here, sorry. So Luis actually misses the ball because none of the players are tight. So Luis misses it, and Shaw's caught out over here for some reason. And none of the players are tight. Maguire and Bailly give these attacking players so much space. So Grealish is able to get it, and he plays it with a dummy from Luis. Torre is able to take one full touch and slot it in. Horrible defending, miscommunication, absolutely just shambles from Manchester United. Horrible goal to concede, especially when Villa had so many better chances to be able to score, but weren't able to take advantage of that, and that's the one that they're able to score. I wouldn't go saying that we should have deserved a clean sheet, because in all reality, I don't think that we did deserve a clean sheet. They had their fair share of chances. Their expected goals was well over 2, but when it comes to United, what we did do was we had a lot of possession inside Villa's box. It's just that we couldn't make anything of it, which is a underlying problem this season. When we get chances in the box, we aren't able to make shots out of it, which is really bad. Of course, United with intent look to keep pressuring and are able to link up with Shaw and Pogba and Martial on this side, and Wan-Bissaka, McTominay, or Fernandez and Rashford on this side. So overall, the width play is brilliant because Man United are able to play both sides. They're able to attack on both sides. So when you push Shaw up, finally, what happens is that Paul Pogba has gotten the ball inside the box and is marked by Luis. Controversial penalty. In my opinion, I'd say if the ref hadn't called a penalty, had not called it a penalty and went to VAR, it wouldn't have been a penalty. But it's just the fact that it was called a penalty, and I don't think there was enough to clearly overturn the decision. Many people called it a disgrace and all, but you can see that there is some evidence for it to point to be a penalty, but you can also show evidence for it to be a horrible dive and a foul. Man United get their goal from a penalty. Unfortunately, actually, Pogba did have chances. Many players had chances. We were in their box for a good amount of time. It's just the expected goals only puts us at 1.5 because of the fact that we don't make this into shots. So I'd say Man United need to succeed, be clinical, take their shots. I'd say Villa didn't perform too badly. I think that McGinn and Luis were caught out at times, and United were very good on the counter against this Villa side, and that they need to fix it up. McGinn and Luis wanted to attack, and that helped Villa a ton, but it also had its downsides. Overall, great game. I really enjoyed watching it. It was fun, had fun in stream. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And 21 is coming.